Hey, Casas Adobe's Pastor John here, and hope you're all well. Just wanted to drop in and talk about Sunday school this Sunday. So we are actually going to have a really good story. You may have heard about it. It's about, remember last week we were talking about them choosing a king and looking through the sons of Jesse, and they picked a little kid named David, and they said, "Who is this guy? This isn't a king." And it turns out that David is going to be one of the really great kings, and so if not the great king. And so the story continues. And this story we're all pretty familiar with if you've been around churches. It's a story of David and a giant called Goliath. And so Goliath is this Philistine soldier, and he's big, and nobody wants to go against him. And even all the people who are just like big strapping warriors, they don't want to go against him because they're scared. And David, who is just picked, he's a little shepherd. He goes up against Goliath, and he volunteers. That's the thing that's really amazing. He volunteers, and he uses his little sling to fire a pebble, a little rock, into Goliath, and he ends up hitting him right in the middle of the head. He falls down dead. Against the odds, what would you guess? Against all odds, little David beats Goliath. Then our second story we're hearing in the gospel, and Jesus is sleeping in a boat with his friends. A big storm comes all of a sudden, rocking back and forth. I don't know if you've ever been in a storm on a boat, but it can be scary sometimes because it's sort of rocking. You don't know if you're going to tip over, and if you tip over, you're in the water, and you know what happens. And so the disciples go, and this is a little fishing boat, and so the disciples see Jesus, and he's just sleeping in the boat, and they say, "Master, there's a storm going on. We're terrified. And here you're sleeping. Can you help us?" And Jesus just gets up and he tells the storm, "Be quiet." Another time, the storm stops. The storm stops. Everything's calm. And then Jesus goes back to sleep. And so, and and his friends, the disciples, are just like, wow, what went on? So what do these two stories have to do with each other? They have to do with being confident in yourself, being confident in what God wants for you, and what's good for everybody. And so somebody like David, who's up against this big giant Goliath, he overcomes his fear, stands up to Goliath, and does the right thing. Just like Jesus, there's this big storm. Everybody's like, "Oh, what do we do? It's a big storm." Jesus just gets up, matter of fact, confidence, and says, "Okay, be quiet. That's enough. Be quiet." And so we need to think when we're confronted with big things in our lives, things that make people scared, big things that make people say, "I can't do anything. I can't stand against this. This is too big." You can do something. You can do something. And that's the lesson. No matter how big or how small you think your voice is, if there's something wrong or something happening that just isn't right, stand up, do something, because you got the power within you. And that is the lesson that we're learning about today, is that there is strength within, with the help of God, and we can overcome anything at all. So, as always, want you to be well, be safe, and of course, be a blessing, even when the things are big and insurmountable. Be a blessing and make a difference in the world. All right. See you at Fun Day School. Peace.